before we get this thing going, I just want to first start off by saying thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. This is honestly a first time I've ever interviewed somebody overseas. I've been doing a lot of this stuff in the US, so you're the first person overseas to be a part of the podcast. So this is awesome. Well, I'll definitely allow you a little bit some time to introduce yourself so that people get to know you. But as I start off every single one of my podcasts, it is your boy, the real AE. If you guys enjoy what you're seeing for today, we're on the Certified Corner podcast. Today I have a guest from Europe. This is so cool. You just never know what life brings you. You never know what the world is going to take you to. So the fact that I have somebody over in Europe, when her name is Andjela, you guys are going to get a chance to meet her. We're going to get a chance to dive right in. If you guys have been enjoying the show, comment down below. Go ahead and reach out to your family. Share this with everybody. But Andjela, welcome to the podcast. How are you today?
Well, thank you. This was amazing, amazing intro, bro. I'm so grateful to be here, and this is actually my first like podcast with someone from the US as well. So I'm so excited. I'm so grateful, and it's AM here in Serbia in Europe, Belgrade time. So it's super early for me, but I love what I do, so it's not a problem for me to get up, get my makeup, get my coffee, and get going with the day. Actually, we have an amazing weekend ahead of us. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. So I'm so excited. Like, God brings us so much joy in this life, and we just have to embrace it. That's like
Exactly.
my main thing for now. And about me, well, I'm 30 years old. Maybe I don't look like that, but I am actually 30 years old. And I've been inside this amazing opportunity that I work for like more than 2 years. And basically, I worked as a waitress. I was in the US for 4 months, working, hustling, working my ass off. So yeah, it was quite some ups and downs inside of my life. Finished like college, but here like it's a university.
Yeah, university. Right.
For yeah, university for graphic design. I didn't find myself in that. Was doing as a full-time filmmaker and content creator for other brands. Like I was filming and creating social media content for other brands. Never actually was in front of the camera, always on the back end. Uh, then everything changes inside of my life, and now I'm here where I'm at, and I'm just so happy and grateful that I have my freedom. I have enough money to make a living, and it's only the beginning. So
Uh,
that's for the starter.
and I love where the fact that you've stayed focused on what you're going for, but you were able to recognize in life that we have to pivot. There's certain times where we originally have an idea of what we see as success, right? In the great book, it says that success is the progression of a worthy ideal, right? And sometimes in life, where we originally thought that we were going to land, we don't end up sometimes. And the fact you're all the way in Serbia, which is insane, and I love it. It's actually 1 a.m. in the morning for me, so it's late night while it's just sunrise for you. But to kick things off, I want to ask you, how do you deal with with how do you deal with change? Like, what goes through your head where, okay, I feel that it's time for me to grow into something new. It's time for me to make a decision. It might me to change directions a little bit. How do you deal with that? Like, what goes through your mind and your heart where you say, you know what, I got to make a decision because I need to do something better. So walk me through that. What goes through your head?
Oh man, amazing question. Well, like if you ask me the same question like 3 to 5 years ago, I would be like, well, I hit to a wall. I got so scared. I used to get so scared of any changes inside of my life. Like I would feel my heart up, like beating faster when I have to decide things. And I was usually so insecure about changes, like overthinking like crazy. Like, is it gonna work? Am I gonna fail? What's gonna happen? Am I gonna live or I'm gonna die? And eventually, like, life hit me with a lot of changes and a lot of pivots inside of my career, my, like, whatever. Like, I had so many changes in my life, and I just kind of get used to them. And then everything changes for me when I figured out that change is good.
Right.
And through my personal development for the last 3.5 years, 4 years almost, where I was doing with psychotherapy, and I was searching through my soul, and I just tried to figure out, why am I so scared of a change? Why am I so scared to fail? Like, that's when I realized, like, there's no failing. Okay, we may have some setbacks, but we don't know what's going to happen either way. Like, there's no perfect decision. Like, there's no right and wrong decision. There's just decision, and then you have to work with it and just make the best out of it. And I had some self-esteem that I was like, okay, if I can decide that, like anything, like if I can decide it, I can act on it. I can do it. So from that, from me being afraid of the change to now enjoying the change, it's been like a journey, but it was definitely worth it. And now I'm so excited every time. Like, oh my god, a new decision ahead of me. Like, okay, what's gonna be? So
Right.
you just have to like work through it. Like, try to accept that you're not gonna always get good at what you do. Like, you're gonna make mistakes, but that's the opportunity to grow. And every mistake is not there to make you fail in life, but to make you stronger in life. And when you shift that perception, that's where everything else shifts.
It's so funny how you get comfortable with change. I look at change kind of like, directions when you're on your phone and you're taking directions and you're trying to go meet somewhere, right? So you get in your car, you buckle up, you're getting excited for an adventure, you're about to take a drive, you're about to go somewhere, right? You go ahead and put your coordinates in your phone, and Siri comes on. For my Apple people, I don't know if you're Android people out there. For my Android people out there, y'all keep it Android. I got iPhone, so iPhone gang on this side. But
Yeah. Same
but
here.
it's so interesting how you get buckled up. Okay, get your seatbelt on. You get all this. You do all this preparation. So stay with me for a minute. You do prepare. You prepare by buckling up. Make sure your window's there. Making sure your car. You got the gas in your car. You making sure you're good. And then you haven't even started your car yet. You haven't even put it in gear, right? That's that faith. Okay, cool. We're gonna start it. Now, what's so interesting that I love about change now, and you alluded to it perfectly, is that for whatever reason, we are more comfortable trusting a machine from giving us directions versus life telling us where we're gonna go, and trusting our internal intuition that it's time for us to pivot, that it's time for a change. And it's so interesting how life hits you in a weird way where you're not even ready for the change because you're never going to be. There's never going to be
Yes.
a perfect time. You always, but what you can always do constantly is continue to develop, like you have, continue to develop and position yourself to be ready to receive that change. Because, like you had, at one point, you weren't ready for it. You didn't want it to happen. Now you've developed into a woman where you can go, I'm ready for the change, because guess what you're doing? You're preparing yourself. You're constantly keeping your mind sharp. You're constantly keeping your faith to a higher power. You're doing the constant things daily. And that this I wanted to ask you this next piece, and we're sticking with this direction idea. You did filmmaking. I went to school for journalism, so I know exactly what you mean about filmmaking, camera work. I took the classes just like you, and I had to make a decision that, hey, filmmaking's not going to be it for me. Could you walk me down when you were coming up, when you were younger, and you were being this filmmaker? You had this idea of, like, man, this film. Do you remember the moment where you said to yourself, okay, no, this is not what I'm going to do? Do you remember that? Do you remember
Yeah,
that moment?
yeah, actually it was not that long time ago, and I still love that. Like I'm so passionate about filmmaking. I still love it. But the moment where it hit me, like really hit me, I was working as a, it's not a news TV station, it's more like a channel, but for news on the social media stuff, like yeah, but like we did work like crazy. Like we had a lot of things going on, and I was working usually like 8 to 10 hours a day for like 6 days a week. For, I know my American guys are gonna pass out now, for not even $800 monthly. My monthly income was $800. It's even a decent money in Serbia. So 800, nothing else. So of course I didn't want to, like, with that kind of money you cannot buy a house, you cannot buy a car, you need to go, like, you need to have mortgage, you need to like go take a credit from the bank for a car or like whatever. Like you
Survive.
cannot save money from that and just like, okay, now I have, like, in 5 years I have to buy a house. No, you cannot do that, because prices of the houses here are like $100,000, give it or take. Like it's crazy. Yeah, even that is cheaper than America, of course, but like
But
it,
still,
it's
that's a lot of
it's
work.
a lot of work. So you gotta have six figure to like buy a house, and then you're like working for three figure per month, and it's normal for here. So I was, of course, doing sidekicks and just side jobs, like whatever I could do, wherever I could go and make some money, I would do it. And it was like I was making more money on my part time job as
Then
a
the music.
filmmaker than I was making monthly, like for the full time job. It was crazy. So I was making aside like uh, 1,500 up to 2,000,
Okay.
and then 800 from the job.
Right.
And it was like, with that kind of money in Serbia, you're like, I'm really good. Like
Okay.
I
You was
have for all of my needs. But I didn't have any time. I gained so much weight. I was tired. I was frustrated. I was working like 4 to 5 months without a day off. Like, when I say I was hustling, I mean I was hustling. Like I was working almost 24/7, sleeping for like 5 to 6 hours, waking up early, getting to bed late. Like it was crazy. I have husband. He didn't see me in that period of time.
oh
Like
wow.
we didn't see each other. We are living together, and when I go to bed, he's already asleep. When he gets up, I'm trying to sleep just a little bit more, like trying to steal those minutes to push me through the day.
Wow.
So I was like, after 4 months of that, I was like, okay, this is not it. Like, I want to make money, but this is not the way. Like, something has to change. Like, one day I'm gonna have a kid. Who's gonna watch over that kid? Like, I cannot be a mom and be working and hustling 24/7. And it's like, it's just not working. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And
Right.
I see all of these people, especially on the social media in the modern day and age, who are like driving Lambos and like living their best lives and like traveling all over the world. And I was like, I was really frustrated. Like, God, please send me something.
Right. Help. I need help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, okay, I'm here. I can do whatever it takes. Just help me out. Like, I cannot stand it anymore. So the funny thing was, when we were talking about a change, like, you have to have faith, but not just in yourself. Like, you have to, man, you have to have faith in God. Like, without that, there's nothing. And I was thinking about switching and pivoting and just going into that change, but I had no direction. Like, I was trying to set the coordinates on my phone, but they're not working.
Oh wow.
So what's happening now? I come to my everyday job, right, with a smile on my face, and they're like, "Oh, and we have a meeting. Like, we need you there in the office." And I'm like, I had that gut feeling, like, okay, they're gonna fire me for no reason, of course, but like, I just had a feeling in instant. I was like, that's gonna happen. I go down to the office, and there's my director. There's like CEO, like all of the guys, big guys, and like, oh, we would like to thank you for everything you've done in the past 2 years. Like the real, like, you know how it goes. And I was like, I just laid down in the chair and I was like, okay, do I have to stay till end of my shift or I can go? They're like, well, you can go. Okay, where do I sign? I signed the paper, I get my things, I packed my things, and I got home. And I was like, I was scared at the moment. That was the first time I lost a job. That was the first time. It was like my rock bottom. And of course, I have loans. I have shit that I have to pay for. Like,
Yeah.
I I cannot lose $800 at this moment. I just cannot. And the funny thing, like, when we are making the plans, God is just standing there and smiling, like you don't see anything,
Yeah.
honey.
You know.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I was, of course, going to try to find another job. Like, I didn't care. Like, I don't know, waitressing tables, like whatever it takes. Like, I just need that 800 a month
Yeah.
back on. Like, that was it for me. And I got a message from a girl that I don't know, like, hey, I saw your Instagram, I would like to represent you with this opportunity. And I swear to you, I never answered those questions. But in that moment, that was God. Like, I shit you not, that was God. Like, I had a feeling like, okay, let me hear out, let me give it a chance. So of course, I got a video, I watched the video. It sounds like the best opportunity, like something that actually can give me that time freedom, money freedom, everything I was trying to create over the years, but didn't know how. Now it's standing in front of me. And I was like, I didn't even blink. I said yes.
Yeah. Right. Snap of the finger. Yep. Done.
Yeah. Yeah, like done. Like, I don't know, like, I have to invest money, I have to invest time. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I just know I'm gonna do that. And that's like where it all changed for me.
Wow. And it's I'm appalled because nobody would ever expect to walk into a job, get fired, and then literally get a message and go, "Hey, I got this new opportunity for it. It's and write down your and write on it." And it's so interesting. My moment of change was when this is 2018, and I used to work at a car wash, Sam's Car Wash, and
Mhm.
I worked at a car wash. I got home. I was actually to become like a professional gamer, playing Fortnite on Xbox. Yeah, whole 9 yards. I was a Halo nerd. I loved Halo. I loved playing video games. And it's so funny because my life changed the moment I got a phone call. I got a text message, and it was one of my frat brothers, and he said, "Hey man, I got this opportunity for bro. Have you heard of Forex?" And that was it for me. In that moment, I don't know if God was listening to me. And what's so interesting when it comes to change, and we talked about it, that it's gonna come when you least expect it. Understand that with whoever you guys believe in, because I'm not gonna force anybody to believe it, but this is just me.
Of course.
When it comes to believing in a higher power, and when we always say that they're like, oh, he's omniscient, he's so grateful, he's everything. We don't understand that he is the one of the master preparers ever. And he's a creative. He created us to create things and make things. And so I was actually having a conversation that talked about my mentor Tia, and she said, "You got to pray like it's up to God, but you got to work like it's up to you. It's up to us to meet God in the middle,
Oh my
right?"
God, I love that.
So, and in our lifetime, there's going to be times when we got to put in the work because faith without work is dead. But we also
Yes.
got to pray like it's up to God because God is going to be that one anchor that a lot of us need at times when we're down and when we're at our lowest. And previous to my next question here, when you were at your lowest, you don't have to say what that moment was. You don't have to go into detail unless you would like to share. But when you were at your lowest, everything wasn't working right. Maybe you're beating yourself up in your head. Maybe you're like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm scared. I'm frightened. How did you, because it sounds like you're a big believer in God, and I love that for you. How do you develop your faith through that low point? How did you keep the faith in your life despite all of the setbacks you may have faced?
Uh, that's hard one, and I feel like I doubted so many times.
Mm,
Like sometimes you ask yourself, like, why is God giving me that? Like, is it God even, or is it the other side testing me? Like, what's going on?
great question.
And you start thinking, and you start trying to realize, and you to rationalize, and you cannot do that with faith, so you lose your faith. And then, for me personally, maybe it's not everyone's situation, but like whenever I was without faith, it just only got worse. Like, I pushed myself in the worst position, and in that worst position, something would happen to me that I just see God again. Like, I see his like God, higher power, like, of course. And usually, like, nowadays, like, where I realize, like, that I cannot get into a position where I don't have faith in God. Like, I cannot lose that. I go to church. But I don't go to church just like when it's like the mass, or like when you like, we're Orthodox here in Serbia, so it's kind of different, but like it's
Yeah,
the same.
yeah,
And I like to believe, like, if you're Orthodox or you're Catholic, like, it's one God. Like, it's the same. Like, we have Jesus, we have all the things in the Bible. Like, it's no difference. Like, it's the same faith.
exactly.
So usually I just go to church, but like, I like to go to church when there's nobody in it, and I pray, and I pray, and I cry, and I go all the 9 yards. Just like, like, if I need like a 15 minutes, it's okay. If I need like a half an hour, it's okay. Like, how much time I need, I just stay there. Like, when I feel back connection,
Right.
that's when I know, like, I'm okay now.
Mm,
And when I don't feel stressed, and when I don't feel alone. So I just sometimes, like, it's my grandma who taught me that.
wow.
She's a wise woman. She told me, like, she was always like, kiddo, when you are overwhelmed, when you feel like you have your back against the wall, don't try to break it. Don't try to pull out the bigger gun. Don't try to be the hero. Like, just stay calm. Stay calm. Ask from God. Like, when you're doing all the things and you're just like, oh my God, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do. You cannot hear God pointing you out to a direction where you should go. But
Right.
when you're calm, and you're like, you're going through a hell, but you're still grateful that your legs are working. That's where you have to be calm, and you have to ask for a direction,
Yes.
ask for strength, ask for faith. And that's when the gods is speaking to you, when he's sending you all of these little messages like that you cannot receive if you're not in that space, like if you're not in that moment, like calm and ready and like within you. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I deal with that. And like when I was younger, I made so many mistakes. Like I was panicking, I was all over the place, and I just realized that it's not working like that. You yeah, like whenever you see something not working out, guess what? That's the time when you have to change something.
Yeah. And it's, you know, it's so interesting with, shout out to your grandma. Shout out to your grandma for that advice. You don't need to bring out the bigger gun to be the bigger man. You don't need to
Yeah.
bring out you don't need to be the loudest to make the most impact. You know, something even my mom said that there's a reason why elephants fear mice. It's not because of the size. It's not because of the size of how that big they are. It's the fear of knowing what they can do. And when it comes to us with our back against the wall, at times that, like you said, like you don't want to break the wall behind you, but it's the ability to, I wouldn't even say stay calm in the aspect of an external thing. It's staying calm internally and recognizing that whatever you see in somebody else, you already have inside of yourself.
Yes.
And with that being said, but also the same thing is too, is you have to show a slight level of humility in understanding that, and then taking accountability that you were there. Like one of the things that I always did to myself, and I do this now, is that whatever situation I'm in, there was a decision that I made that got me there, or there was a decision I did not make that got me there. So if something's not as favorable as it is, there could have been a moment of, this is where, when your back's up against the wall, it's a perfect time to self-reflect. Okay, how did I get my back up against this wall? What decision did I make or did not make? Was there a person? Was it a thing? Was it something that I thought? Was it something that I ate? Was it a phone call that I didn't answer? Was it a text I never responded? Was it a sign that I never saw? Right, those things will always put us in these positions, and once you take a level of accountability for where you are currently in your life, but then also having the humility to being okay with asking for assistance, not out of ignorance, not out of gain, but purely out of stewardship, that will allow for, not only, I won't even say God, let's keep it practical. Let's not even make it religious. In life, what you speak, like, and I just had this combo. My homie was like, life is like an echo. Whatever you speak out is gonna come back. So if you're ready to receive being a student, the mentor is gonna show up, the teacher's going to arrive. And that teacher may not be in the form that you want it to be. And I think a lot of us right now, we struggle because, like you said, I'm praying, I'm screaming, I need my 15 minutes, I need my 30 minutes, I need my hour at church by myself. But then at the same time, I think people mess up in the ability that, okay, you spend all this time praying and looking for an answer, but you want the answer in the form that you want it, not the answer that's correct.
I gotta share something with you,
Okay.
man. I gotta share something with you. Like I was talking to my mom the other day, and I I asked her, like, she was she was like, okay, I'm so tired, I have this and that, it's like I'm overwhelmed, I cannot, like, it's too stressful, it's too much for me, like I cannot handle all of this.
Mhm.
And I just asked her, like, what do you pray for? Do you pray for strength? And she was like, well, yeah, of course.
Right.
And I told her, like, well, you have all of these opportunity in front of you to get stronger, but you're not reading the signs. Like, hey, woman, your praise has been answered. Just just realize that. Like, okay, if you pray for, like, if you pray, if you ask, if you like the universe, the God, like whatever it is, like if you ask for strength, it's not gonna be like, oh my God, I have muscles now. Like it's gonna be in the weight that you have to lift to become stronger. Yeah.
Oh my
She just
Wait,
stood
wait,
there.
wait, wait. Say that again. Say that again. You said, oh, say it
I don't
again.
know what I said, man. I was
Okay,
in a
okay,
flow.
because you said that when you pray for strength, it's not going to come in the form of muscles. It's going to come in the form of the
Weight
ability to
that you
lift.
have to lift. Yeah.
Oh, that is so good. Oh, that is so good.
Thank
That is
you.
like that was good. Okay, continue. That was
Okay, so
really good. I like that.
anyways, she was just standing there looking at me, and I could see her eyes started, like she wasn't crying, but like her eyes started watering a little bit, and she was like, just like, my work here is done, like how did you became so smart? Like I was like, oh, I don't know, ma. I did it to myself, basically. Like, especially like, I don't know, how old are you? I never asked
26.
you how much.
26. 26.
26.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm 30. So my parents are like 60 something.
Same.
Yeah, so it's like a age gap. Like they didn't grow up on personal development. Like they didn't grow up on, you have to think differently, like you have to attract things in your life. They, like, when I talk to my mom or my dad even, like he's like, oh, I don't believe in that. Like I'm not gonna, like, you have to work hard, you have to work hard. And I'm like, well, you worked hard your entire life, so where's the success? And he's like, I'm different. I have ton of people who worked it hard, who are like hustling all the time, and they're successful now. Okay, enjoy that. Like,
Right.
you're good. Like, just, it's okay. But it's so funny. Like when you were mentioning the, like, when the student is ready, the mentor comes. I feel like our parents are mentors of ours when we are, I'm speaking like a pirate, I don't know why. They are our mentors until one moment, and then if you go and be a different, like, this is for all of my early 20 something year olds,
Yeah.
like for all the younger generations.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna sound so old now. um, so you gotta listen to your mom and dad under their roof, under their advisement, under their, like, if they're buying you things, like if you have no money at the moment, like you have to listen to, like you have to respect them. Yeah, like they know. But it's not all about your parents knowing what's best for you. Like they have your best interests, but they just know as much as they know, and you kind of have to go and find who you really are on your own, and don't be scared of that.
Right.
And at one moment you're gonna be like one step ahead, compared to your parents. Like
Exactly.
you're gonna think differently, you're gonna feel like you're smarter than them, you're gonna feel like you're better than them, you're gonna feel like all the things, like, and it's okay. But don't get so cocky with it. In that moment, try to find another mentor who is better than you, who is higher than you, who have something that you don't inside of your life, and then listen to them.
Right.
But always, always, always have mentor, have someone who's gonna be your, I don't know, the my brain stopped working for, English is my second language, so
And you're doing really well. Not
thank
you're
you.
doing pretty good. If I try to speak Serbian or like whatever language you have in your country, I would we wouldn't be here for 30 minutes. We probably would have stopped at like 2 and I would have given up. But no, but I think it's what you're alluding to is it's okay to have mentors that play in different points in your life.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and it's when it comes to your parents, you grew up with them. They know you inside and out because they saw you when you couldn't even talk or walk. And now they're seeing you walk they're watching you graduate. They're watching you develop as their child. But of course, when you get into certain arenas, you're stepping into different environments. It is okay to seek mentorship in the environment that you're in because at the end of the day, you don't have to 100% accept somebody, but you can definitely 100% accept somebody that's providing value to you in the way that you need it. For example, I have a trainer at the gym, right? I have a trainer,
Here.
but does my trainer help me with my trading account? No, that's not his purpose. That's not what he serves in my life. That is not what gives him fulfillment for me that way. He fulfills my life in the fitness arena that I decide to be in. I have a trading mentor. I have a personal development coach. I have a spiritual leader because it is okay to have mentors in different areas because they always say don't put your eggs in one basket, but we don't think about other people. Don't put one person in all of your baskets. One person is not going to be able to fulfill you in all the different multifaceted things that we're built to be. And we're beautiful people, and I love people. But guess what? I would be draining them of their energy if I'd assume that I need 100% of you at all time. Because if I ask for 100% of you, there's no way that number one, I'll be able to pour back into you. And then number two, you won't be able to show up as your best self when it's time. And that's where having different mentors as you are coming up in age is going to be vital because you're going to hit these levels. You're going to hit, in the words of trading, you're going to hit areas of resistance, and
Yeah.
you're going to need some new liquidity below you. You're going to need some liquidity up above you. You need some money up there to push you through that area, and now you got to go find that new resistance so you can. Um,
You gotta make the higher high. You gotta make the next higher high. You gotta push through all of that.
Exactly. You have to continue trending upward even when you feel like you're in a retracement.
I feel like things from trading that I've learned in the two and almost 2.5 years are so crucial for life.
Right.
Like you learn about patience. Like I was the most impatient person that you could have like ever met. Like I was, if we need to get on time, like if we need to be somewhere at 9 a.m., if we're not there like 5 minutes before 9 a.m., I would be screaming at everybody.
Oh
We're
wow.
gonna be late. We're gonna be da 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 da. Like if I'm in a rush and there's a red light, I'll be like, come on, come on, come on, come on. Like I was like that all the time. And
Wow.
then I met trading, and then my mom was like, "Well, you're the most impatient person that I know. Like you're never gonna succeed in that. Like you say something I cannot do." Like so I wanted to learn. I wanted to change. I was ready. Like, okay, if I need to be more patient, that's what I'm gonna learn to be. I that's one thing. And then you have to be disciplined. And that like I was talking on my Instagram account how trading and discipline in trading changed my discipline
In
in
life.
eating in life in going to the gym. I was like not super overweight but like really chubby, like on the
Yeah.
in between chubby and overweight. Like it was bad. And I'm a shorty, so whenever you see a short person, like a couple of pounds on them is a lot more than a couple of pounds on a taller person. So don't judge. But I couldn't get disciplined inside of my life for anything. And trading changed that for me.
It
And my
provides.
mindset around money changed and so many things changed. Like I look at every single thing in inside of my life. Like, is it risk to reward 1 to 3, or is it like 1 to 5? Is it less than 1 to 3? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna
Mm,
just pass it on, like somebody else gonna do that. Like, I'm not gonna waste my time on it, like, because I don't want to 1 to 2. I want 1 to 5. I want 1 to 5 things inside of my life.
I like that. I like how
Mhm.
you found the correlation between the charts in real life, and it's you found principles within risk management, within trading strategies and terminology, and you applied it in real life. I even did that myself, where I'll go to the gas station and put gas in my car, and I said, "All right, cool. All right, it's $3, and let's say $3. Well, let's say I think right now it's like 260 something. So it's $2 60
260 for a gallon.
for a gallon, 264.
You have cheaper gas than Serbia.
I believe it. I believe it. I look. Hey, look. We're traders. I see the charts. I'm on the charts. I look at figures and stuff. But it's even funnier. Like when I fill up a gas tank, it'll be like, let's say $30, right? $30 to fill up my tank. I'll be like, oh, $30. Oh, okay, that's easy. That's just 30 pips with a point one. Oh, that's just a that's just 300 pips on Nas. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll get that back, right? Like my entire perspective of life was in the form of pips and charts and just whatever I spent. I said, okay, cool. If I spend this money, I can go on the chart tonight and go make that back, which is it completely changed my perspective. But because we're short on time,
Yeah.
I want to end you on this because you've been amazing and I love the value provided. It's your first time having a podcast with American.
Yeah.
You're over in Serbia. You have a different perspective on life from your point of view, but we relate in very different ways, especially with God. To end this conversation, if you wanted to leave a message for those who are going to watch this in the future, your kids, your kids' kids, or even people in Serbia who are going to tune in because they follow you on social media, what would be a lesson that Andjela, what lesson would you want them to leave with at the tonight? What would you want them to leave them with? What's something that you want to share with the world? A little piece of life advice.
Yeah, I got you. But I'm like, when you started, like, I felt that that's exactly what you're gonna ask me, and I had like 1 million, 1 trillion thoughts rushing through my head. So let me just pick one.
Hit one.
Um, it's I love that question, but it's so hard to just try to keep it short and sweet, but like to the point. Um, I would say everything everything that you wish you have inside you. Just try and reach out for that. And don't let anybody, not your mama, not your pops, not your boyfriend, girlfriend, nobody makes you feel like you're not worthy of your goals. Don't let anyone inside of your life makes you think differently than you are here on this planet Earth to make a difference, and just grab your goals and dreams and go hustle and do and work whatever it takes. You cannot fail in life. The only failure is it if you don't try and if you just quit. So don't quit. Don't like be the one who's not gonna try it. Go try, go fail, and just don't stop. Don't fucking stop until it's done.
Mm. Y'all heard her. Do not fucking stop until it is done.
Done.
Andjela, tuning in from Serbia. Thank you so much for your time and your blessing. I know it's early morning for you. I'm about to get some rest myself, but thank you so much for your conversation. Your time has not gone to waste. This has been an amazing conversation. We definitely got to do it again for sure. Um, I thank you so much for this, and this has been fun. I cannot wait for what the world is going to say based off of the value that you provided. So I appreciate you. We're definitely going to talk soon, and I want you to enjoy the rest of your beautiful day.